The difference between a job mindset and a business mindset: both wake up in the morning, both work hard, both get tired, both want a better future, but inside their thinking is completely different. One lives in a cycle, the other builds a system. One survives month to month, the other thinks decade to decade. Let's begin with the job holder. He wakes up early in the morning, not because he wants to, but because he has to. The alarm rings. He opens his eyes with tension already in his chest. He checks the time. He calculates the day in his head. He gets out of bed. He washes up quickly. If he has children, he wakes them up too. He tells them to get ready for school. He rushes to prepare breakfast, or maybe his wife does. He sits at the table, but his mind is not present. He is already thinking about work, task deadlines, boss, targets, office politics. He finishes breakfast in a hurry. If he has children, he drops them at school. On the way back, he calculates expenses: electricity bill, gas bill, school fees, rent, groceries. He thinks about the end of the month before the month even begins. Then he goes to work. At work, he follows instructions. He completes tasks. He works under pressure. He worries about performance reviews. He worries about losing his job. He checks the clock again and again. He waits for lunch break. He waits for evening. He waits for salary day. All day long, he trades time for money, hour by hour, energy for income, freedom for stability. Even when he is sitting, he is tired. Even when he is quiet, his mind is noisy. He thinks about bills. He thinks about responsibilities. He thinks about what could go wrong. But rarely, very rarely, does he think about building something bigger. Because there is no time. Evening arrives. He leaves work exhausted. Traffic feels longer than usual. He reaches home. His children are waiting. His family wants attention. He wants rest. He eats dinner, but even at the table, his mind is calculating numbers. Electricity bill due next week. School fees pending. Bike or car repair needed. Medical expense unexpected. He watches some television, scrolls his phone, escapes for a few minutes. But escape is not growth. Late at night, he lies in bed. He is tired. But he cannot sleep peacefully. Tension follows him into the dark. He wakes up in tension. He sleeps in tension. And the cycle repeats. Day after day, month after month, year after year. It is not a bad life. It is not wrong. But it is limited. It is controlled by salary. It is controlled by time. It is controlled by someone else's system. This is the job loop. Now let's look at the businessman. He also wakes up early. But not because an alarm forces him. He wakes up with intention. Early morning. Before the world gets noisy. Before calls start. Before emails arrive. He steps outside. Fresh air. Silence. He goes for a walk. Slow steps. Deep breathing. He clears his mind. He is not thinking about salary. He is thinking about vision. He is thinking about leverage. He is thinking about systems. He understands something powerful. Money is not made by working harder. Money is made by building something that works without you. After walking, he plans his day. He writes ideas. He studies markets. He looks for gaps. He asks one question: what can grow even when I am sleeping? He drinks water. He protects his health. Because he knows energy is capital. Mental clarity is an asset. He invests in his body. He invests in his mind. He reads. He learns. He studies patterns. He understands that growth is not instant. It compounds. Let me give you an example. Imagine there is an island, completely free, no predators, no danger, plenty of grass, plenty of clean water, perfect climate, zero danger risk. Now imagine you take 100 female goats and 10 male goats and leave them on that island. No one supervises daily. No salary paid monthly. No one checks every hour. You simply let nature work. And you return after 10 years. What do you expect to see? Not 100 goats, not 500 goats, but thousands. Maybe 60,000 plus, and total wealth of goats $200 million, because goats reproduce, growth multiplies. Compounding never stops. Nature builds quietly, slowly at first, then rapidly. That is business thinking. A job holder looks at goats and thinks, how much can I sell one goat for today? A businessman looks at goats and thinks, how many goats will exist in 10 years? One thinks transaction, the other thinks multiplication. One thinks income, the other thinks assets. Business mindset is not about being rich. It is about thinking long term. It is about planting seeds. It is about patience. It is about building something that grows without constant effort. A job holder depends on time. A businessman depends on systems. A job holder worries about salary delay. A businessman worries about opportunity cost. A job holder calculates expenses. A businessman calculates scalability. But here is something important. Business mindset does not mean easy life. It does not mean no struggle. In fact, business often requires more risk, more uncertainty, more responsibility. But it offers something powerful: control, freedom, possibility. The job holder trades hours for income. If he stops working, income stops. The businessman builds assets. If he builds correctly, income continues, even when he rests, even when he travels, even when he sleeps. The island is not just land. The goats are not just animals. The island represents opportunity. The goats represent ideas. The grass represents market demand. The water represents resources. And time. Time is the silent partner. If you plant nothing, nothing grows. If you plant wisely, everything multiplies. The real difference is not education, not background, not luck. It is thinking. One wakes up thinking about today's tasks. The other wakes up thinking about tomorrow's expansion. One reacts to problems. The other designs solutions. One fears risk. The other calculates it. One sees a job. The other sees an opportunity. And here is the truth. You do not have to quit your job tomorrow. You do not have to risk everything overnight. But you must change how you think. Start asking different questions. Instead of asking, how do I survive this month? Ask, what can I build that grows for 10 years? Instead of asking, how much is my salary? Ask, what assets am I creating? Because at the end of life, the job holder may have worked for 40 years, but the businessman built something that works for generations. One leaves behind memories of hard work. The other leaves behind systems. One lived in a cycle, the other built an island. So the real question is simple. Are you living inside the monthly loop? Or are you building your island? Are you trading time? Or are you creating multiplication? Think bigger. Think long term. Think beyond salary. Because once you understand compounding, you will never think small again.